We are now back down in the red, so that's 2 weeks in a row now, so got to bounce back.
Last week was an absolute shambles. Only winner was Braden Starr. Last week I wasn't too happy with, but we nearly still made a profit. We'll see how we went last week. Again, just down. We'll take a look at how we went last week. Again, just down. How we went last week, well, do we really need to check? It was pretty poor. We'll see how we went last week. Not great, but it's only onwards and upwards from here. Since this is how we went last week, not great either this week again. But we'll see how we went last week. Another Saturday in the red, which is normal now. Last week, another week in the red.
And the prodigal son's going to trot in. It's our time. Loves this place. Won the Ori Star.
Hello everyone and welcome to my Moonee Valley Racing preview. Only 4 selections this video. A few iffy ones that I wasn't really keen on. But I had to chuck in there so I could get a video out of it. Otherwise the video wouldn't be watch worthy if there was only like 2 selections. So not a massive one, but 4 coming up. Hopefully the Moonee Valley track plays a little bit better than what it did last time with the rail in the true position. I'm hoping it can, and we'll get stuck straight on with things. But first, I'm so happy to say last week we were in the green finally. Obviously not enough to get the all-time back anywhere close to the green, but I'm happy to be in the green, and hopefully we can stay in there ahead of next week. Race 1 is the Quentin Wallace handicap for the 3-year-olds. At handicap level, obviously, over the 1,000 metres, judging by the name of the race. And the one I like here is the second favourite at the moment, Pride of Sullivan. The Ben Will and JD Hayes team, they all combined for this horse as the trainers. Mickey D rides. I'm very happy that Mickey D rides because he just filled me with an abundance of confidence now after It's Our Time last week, and he rode a couple of winners at Sandown on Sunday as well. This horse gets the earmuffs pre-race only for the first time, which will help it. Draws gate 4, so we get a nice run on speed. Judging by that jump out, that was very impressive. It should absolutely suit Moonee Valley to a T. Started $1.70 favourite on debut at Swan Hill where it won. Hayes boys have put it away, saved it for the spring, and this is its kick-off point. So hopefully it can be too speedy for them and win the first race. Race 2 is the James Wallace handicap at benchmark 70 level over the 1,000 metres, and I'm actually quite keen here on Twin Perfection. I was quite keen on this horse before the favourite Roussillon came out, but the price has been deducted to $350, which I still think is a really good price for this horse. I guess the only minor query is the 62 kilos, but considering it's a 1,000 metre dash, it shouldn't worry too much. Draws gate 4, this horse settles on speed, so we'll be right there. Ever since Philip Stokes has put it at the 1,000 metres, it's been 2 from 2 in its career. That's really good, and as I said, settles on speed, so will suit Moonee Valley ideally, especially the sprint trip. Its win at Sandown last start was good. It's hard to lead all the way at a 1,000 metre race at Sandown over the 1,000 metres, especially on the hillside track. So I thought Twin Perfection did well to do that, and Moonee Valley will suit it better, and hopefully it can be winning. Race number 5 is the Gwenda Fitzgerald handicap at benchmark 84 level over the 1,200 metres, and the one I like here is Recommendation. I say I'm a bit iffy about it. This was one of the iffy ones. You're asked to take a short price of $2.50, and this was its last jump out where it flopped out the barriers, which hopefully it doesn't do on Saturday. It's not like it to flop out of the barriers, but it finished off really well down the outside, not asked to do much. Carleen Ethel claims the 1.5, so it's down to 58.5. This horse has drawn gate 10 and it's a leader, and from the 1,200 metre start at Moonee Valley, it's a short run to the first corner. I'm expecting it to settle wide without cover, which I hate, but if it can get across with cover somehow, or it can be too speedy for them and settle outside the leader, it's clearly the one to beat. And I think first up it can. If it doesn't flop out the machine, it'll be really hard to beat. If it can get a position, it's probably almost unstoppable. I really like this horse as a horse, and I'm backing it based on raw ability. So, recommendations in there. It's that time of the week, last man standing again, and we've had some movement since last week. Sky High Horse Racing has catapulted to first, courtesy of Shayar, and me and Geordie are still struggling at the back of the field at the moment. So we'll get straight on with what we're doing this week. We'll start with Geordie. He's going up to Rose Hill. Late in the day, he's going for Pericles, the classy horse, kicking off its spring campaign. Looks one of the ones to beat in that race. moving on to what I'm doing, well, I'm getting a little bit greedy, and I'm just going the ones that I think will win. So I'm not going to Moonee Valley. I would have liked to throw Twin Perfection in there, but that's all right. I'm going to Eagle Farm, Vodka Martini, and Kanazawa there. Hopefully can get the job done in race 1 and 2, and then Garza Blanca in the last race for J-Mac in Rose Hill. So that'll be interesting. Sky High Horse Racing, he's playing a little bit differently. He's gone for 70 the win on Floating Artist at the Valley. Also 20 the win on Hot Spring Gold up at Eagle Farm, and then a $10 all-up win Hot Spring Gold into Floating Artist. If both those horses get up, he'll be in the green by a fair way. So that's what we're doing for Last Man Standing this week. Race number 6 is the Ladbrokes Racing Club Challenger Handicap at benchmark 70 level over the 20-40 metres, the Cox Plate start. And the one that I like here is Super Stock. I like it as a horse, but the map might be a little bit concerning, but we'll get onto that later on. This was its last run at the Valley, where Magnus Spin led and kicked away on the Travelator on the inside and won. This horse did really well, finishing off with Blake Shin in the saddle on this day. Down the outside was taking ground off Torrenzino late. First start at 2,000, I thought it did really well. So second start at 2,000 metres should be peaking. Gets the Winker near side for the first time, which is good. Craig Williams is booked, so he'll, from gate 7 in a big field, he'll try and be as close as he can. I'm expecting this horse to be no worse than midfield. So if that's the case, it should be alright. And I think with the rail in the tree, you can probably make up ground from midfield. Maybe not right back in the field, but midfield might be one of the places to be, especially late in the day. But we'll have to see. I have no idea how this track's going to play. I just think Superstock is a good horse. Now out of his 3-year-old age group, he's ready to win against the older horses at benchmark 70 level. Hopefully he can do so, finish the day on a high. Hopefully we can be in the green again, and I'll see you all next week.